In this podcast episode, Andrew Bustamante delves into the vulnerability of women to manipulation by conmen, focusing on the case of Dirty John. He explains that women, particularly those falling into the introverted, observant, feeling, and judging (ISFJ) category, according to the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, are more susceptible to manipulation due to their tendency to make decisions based on gut instincts while collecting data from facts. This vulnerability makes them easy targets for individuals who can exploit their trust and manipulate them. Dirty John targeted a divorced woman over the age of 50 who was going through significant life changes and questioning her decisions. He used dating apps to spot potential targets and went through a process of assessment, development, recruitment, handling, and termination to manipulate and control his victim. By isolating her from her friends and family, he gained control over her and made her believe that her loyalty should be to him. The victim's daughter became suspicious of Dirty John and hired a private investigator, uncovering his criminal history. When the victim decided to end the relationship, Dirty John attacked her in a parking garage, leading to a life-threatening situation. The daughter fought back and ultimately killed Dirty John in self-defense. Bustamante highlights the prevalence of psychopathy, sociopathy, and narcissistic personality disorder in the American population, with approximately 10% falling into one of these categories. He explains that individuals on the spectrum of antisocial personality disorder often exhibit stable and detached emotional responses, making it difficult to interrogate them based on emotions. The guest suggests using tools such as journals, voice memos, or diaries to track and analyze behavior patterns over time. By keeping a record of interactions and observations, individuals can challenge their instincts and make informed decisions about their relationships. Bustamante also mentions a visual tool involving marbles in jars to visually represent positive and negative behaviors. The conversation shifts to the topic of women's fascination with true crime and serial killers. Bustamante explains that while both men and women enjoy true crime, they approach it from different perspectives. Men often focus on solving the crime, while women empathize with the victims. He attributes the Western obsession with true crime to the sense of security provided by law enforcement and societal norms. Bustamante discusses the decline in serial killings due to advancements in technology and police investigative techniques. He notes that serial killers are now caught and prosecuted more quickly, leading to a decrease in the number of victims. He emphasizes the importance of changing decision-making systems to avoid falling into compliance with dangerous individuals. The podcast then delves into the case of the Tinder swindler, who deceived women by posing as a wealthy diamond heir and manipulating them into providing financial support. The swindler specialized in check and banking fraud, using fraudulent methods to extract money from his victims. Bustamante reveals that the swindler's criminal activities began with stealing a checkbook from a wealthy family in Israel and evolved into a pattern of exploiting wealthy women for financial gain. Bustamante explains that manipulation is a systematic process that involves pushing the target through different phases to gain their trust and loyalty. The first phase is avoidance, where the target tries to avoid the manipulator. However, with persistence and the right approach, the manipulator can move the target into the competition phase, where they start exchanging ideas and opinions. This leads to the target investing in the relationship, paving the way for the compliance phase, where the target starts relying on the manipulator for guidance and decision-making. He emphasizes the importance of self-awareness and independence in relationships, especially for women, as manipulators often target individuals who lack trust in themselves. Bustamante highlights the need for women to slow down in relationships and not give away their independence too quickly, as it can make them more susceptible to manipulation. He also discusses the impact of manipulation in personal relationships, noting that the emotional damage and healing process can be more significant when it involves someone you have fallen for. Manipulators can isolate their targets and control not just their actions, but also their emotions, leading to a sense of ultimate control over the individual. Bustamante suggests that understanding one's personality type, such as through the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, can help individuals recognize their own vulnerabilities and attract healthier relationships. By knowing how they are wired, individuals can better understand who they are looking for in a partner and recognize warning signs of unhealthy behavior. He shares personal anecdotes about his upbringing and values, highlighting his support for women's empowerment and equality. Bustamante's actions, such as taking his wife's last name when they got married, demonstrate his commitment to gender equality and his belief in women's capabilities. Bustamante introduces the idea of three lives that everyone has: public life, private life, and secret life. The public life is what others see, while the private life is shared with a small group of close associates. The secret life is where individuals hide their shame and vulnerabilities. He explains that letting someone into one's secret life is a significant step, as it requires trust and vulnerability. He also discusses the importance of time, distance, and change in direction in assessing relationships and determining if someone deserves to enter the next level of intimacy. The conversation shifts to Elizabeth Holmes, the former CEO of a blood testing company who was involved in fraudulent activities. Bustamante analyzes Holmes' behavior and upbringing, suggesting that her antisocial behavior may have stemmed from a lack of parental attention and pressure to succeed. He highlights how Holmes manipulated her image and voice to appeal to investors and achieve her goals. Bustamante also mentions Holmes' secret relationship with the company's COO, which played a role in validating her false claims. The discussion delves into the seductive tactics that individuals, including Holmes, may use in manipulation. Bustamante notes that seduction can be a tool in manipulation, but it is not the sole factor in achieving manipulative goals. He emphasizes the importance of transparency and information in challenging base assumptions about manipulative behavior. He draws parallels between manipulative individuals and the biblical concept of Satan, who is described as attractive and appealing. Bustamante shares insights from his background in the CIA, where operatives are trained to blend in and be nondescript to avoid standing out. He explains that being attractive or unattractive can make individuals memorable, which goes against the goal of blending in. He reflects on his own experiences of being bullied for his appearance and finding power in anonymity. He discusses how his upbringing made him susceptible to the CIA's pitch to serve his country. Bustamante delves into the different energy types in our psyche: creative energy, collective energy, and connection energy. He explains how individuals prioritize these energies at different stages of their lives, with the connected energy phase being particularly vulnerable to manipulation. He emphasizes the importance of understanding where someone is in their energy cycle to effectively manipulate them. The discussion then shifts to the power of seduction and how it can be used to gain access to someone's secret life. Bustamante explains that seduction and connection are not always the same, with seduction typically involving sex. He cautions against confusing seduction with genuine connection and highlights the importance of giving people the energy they seek to manipulate them effectively. Bustamante also touches on the prevalence of antisocial personality disorders, including narcissism, sociopathy, and psychopathy. He explains how individuals with these disorders may exhibit manipulative behaviors, such as gaslighting and emotional abuse. He warns against misdiagnosing individuals and emphasizes the need to understand the differences between these disorders and conditions like autism and Asperger's syndrome. Bustamante stresses the importance of recognizing warning signs in relationships, such as emotional manipulation and isolation from friends and family. He provides insights into how to differentiate between motivational people who have your best interests at heart and manipulators who seek to control you for their benefit. He encourages women, especially high-achieving individuals, to be vigilant and aware of potential manipulative tactics.